bit of run for his money.
Oh, bless your heart.
Right. Well, that's true.
Actually, that's not true. I sing because my dad sang. He had 6 other children, and my mom and my dad were my best.
Johnny Mathis, a name synonymous with classic ballads and unforgettable melodies like Chances Are It's Not For Me To Say, and Misty has captivated hearts for decades. But behind the soothing voice and chart-topping hits lies a life full of untold struggles and painful memories. Now approaching 90, Johnny's journey is one of triumph and torment. Despite his incredible achievements, his soul remains burdened by the scars of past hardships. In this video, we delve into the untold story of Johnny Mathis, his personal battles, his enduring legacy, and the emotional price he's paid for fame. Don't miss it. Johnny Mathis is widely regarded as one of the most enduring and influential voices in the history of popular music. His voice, smooth and rich with a warmth that could melt even the coldest of hearts, has captivated audiences for over 6 decades. His hit songs like Chances Are, Misty, and It's Not For Me To Say have earned their rightful place in the Grammy Hall of Fame, cementing their status as timeless classics. These songs not only exemplify his vocal prowess, but also illustrate the artistry that has made Johnny Mathis a name synonymous with romance, elegance, and musical integrity. Early life and beginnings. Born in Gilmer, Texas in 1935, Johnny Mathis was the 4th of 7 children in a working-class African-American family. His early life in the Texas countryside was far from glamorous, and yet it laid the foundation for his extraordinary musical journey. Raised by parents who were deeply committed to fostering a love of music in their children, Mathis's upbringing was filled with soulful melodies and the sounds of family harmony. His father, a laborer who worked for the railroad, was his first and most significant influence. Though Mathis's mother was equally supportive, it was his father who had a special relationship with him. Describing his father as his best pal, Johnny often speaks fondly of their bond, which shaped not only his musical career, but also his character. Mathis's parents were incredibly resourceful and loving, and their encouragement of his musical talents was invaluable. One story that particularly stands out is when his father purchased a second-hand upright piano for $25 when Johnny was still a child. The only problem was that the piano could not fit through the door of their modest apartment. His father, displaying a level of determination and creativity that would later become a hallmark of his life, decided to disassemble the piano and reassemble it inside the home. This small but significant act symbolized the lengths to which Mathis's parents were willing to go to support their son's passion for music. His father's hands-on approach to fostering his love for music made a lasting impression on Johnny, influencing both his career and the way he viewed the world. The early struggles and discovery of his voice. While the Mathis family did not have much by way of material wealth, they were rich in love, encouragement, and a deep-seated belief in the power of hard work. As a child, Johnny demonstrated remarkable musical ability, and his parents nurtured that talent at every opportunity. Mathis would sing at church, in school, and around the house, and his parents immediately recognized his potential. His early exposure to music laid the groundwork for the legendary career he would later have. At just 19 years old, Mathis made a fateful move that would set the course for his future. In 1954, Johnny left home for San Francisco, where he would audition for a record label and begin to lay the foundation for his career. Johnny's first break came when he was discovered by the legendary music producer George Avakian, who signed him to Columbia Records. It was a monumental moment in Mathis's life as he secured a recording contract with one of the largest labels in the industry. However, this success came with its own set of challenges. Despite his vocal talent, Johnny Mathis was still a young man trying to find his place in the world, both musically and personally. One of the biggest challenges Mathis faced early on was learning to accept his unique vocal tone. Johnny was initially dissatisfied with the sound of his voice, especially when he first heard recordings of himself on a tape recorder. He was particularly critical of its high-pitched quality, feeling that it sounded too feminine. This self-doubt was compounded by his desire to emulate the deep, resonant tones of male vocalists like Billy Eckstine. However, instead of abandoning his voice, Mathis decided to work with it, determined to develop a style that would be uniquely his. He sought guidance from vocal coaches and honed his technique, learning how to sing in a manner that was both powerful and effortless. Over time, this commitment to refining his sound paid off, and Johnny Mathis emerged as one of the most distinctive voices in popular music. The role of family and mentorship. The influence of Johnny Mathis's family, particularly his father, cannot be overstated. From an early age, his father encouraged him to pursue vocal training, believing that Johnny's natural gifts could be nurtured into something extraordinary. Johnny's father played an instrumental role in shaping his son's musical career. It was his father who insisted that Johnny take voice lessons with Connie Cox, a voice teacher who would become an integral part of Johnny's life. Mathis recalls that at the time, his family did not have much money, but his father was committed to seeing his son succeed. Johnny paid for his voice lessons by running errands for Connie Cox, which shows his dedication to his craft. Cox, who was an accomplished vocal coach, provided Johnny with invaluable lessons in vocal technique and helped him develop his unique singing style. The lessons with Connie Cox proved to be transformative, teaching him how to sing without straining his vocal cords, an essential skill that allowed him to have a long and successful career. In addition to formal training, Johnny Mathis was given the rare opportunity to observe Cox teaching her other students. This access to different techniques and methods gave Johnny a deeper understanding of voice production and the art of singing. These lessons, both formal and informal, would set the foundation for the exceptional career that lay ahead. Navigating fame and personal struggles. As Johnny Mathis's career skyrocketed in the late 1950s and 1960s, he became one of the most recognized voices in the world. His smooth ballads, characterized by their effortless phrasing and emotive delivery, made him a household name. Hits like Misty, Chances Are, and It's Not For Me To Say became classics, and his success seemed almost inevitable. Despite his rising fame, Mathis remained remarkably humble, consistently expressing gratitude for the opportunities he had been given. He never allowed his celebrity status to consume him. Instead, he focused on his music and the people who helped him get to where he was. His sense of gratitude was rooted in a deep understanding of the struggles and sacrifices that his family, particularly his father, had made for him to have the chance to pursue his dreams. One of the most striking aspects of Johnny Mathis's life is his openness about his sexuality. During a time when being openly gay was not as accepted in society, Mathis struggled with his identity. However, he found acceptance within himself, which ultimately allowed him to live a life true to his authentic self. His courage in navigating these challenges speaks to his strength of character and his ability to overcome the obstacles life placed in his way. A legacy of music and mentorship. Johnny Mathis's influence in the music world extends far beyond his own hits. Throughout his career, he worked with some of the most respected musicians and artists in the industry. His collaborations with other vocalists, including Dionne Warwick, Natalie Cole, Gladys Knight, and Barbra Streisand, are legendary. Mathis and Streisand, in particular, shared a special bond, and their collaborations produced some of the most memorable performances in music history. Streisand has often spoken of Mathis as an inspiration and as someone who had a profound influence on her own vocal style. Mathis's work with other artists is a testament to his generosity and willingness to share the spotlight. He never saw himself as merely a star, but as part of a larger musical community. His collaborations were rooted in mutual respect and a shared love of music. He was always eager to learn from others and constantly sought to grow as an artist. The recording process and commitment to excellence. Throughout his career, Johnny Mathis maintained a rigorous approach to his craft. Unlike some artists who might record a song in 1 or 2 takes, Mathis was meticulous in his approach. He believed in experimenting with different interpretations of a song to find the best possible version. He would spend hours in the studio, fine-tuning each detail until it was just right. Johnny Mathis also emphasized the importance of selecting songs that had enduring quality. While the music industry is often driven by trends, Mathis has always been committed to singing songs that resonate deeply with him and that have the potential to stand the test of time. This commitment to artistic integrity has been a hallmark of his career, and it is one of the reasons why his music remains beloved by fans of all ages. Johnny Mathis, born in Gilmer, Texas in 1935, is widely recognized as one of the most beloved and iconic voices in the history of American music. His deep, smooth baritone has become synonymous with romantic ballads and heartfelt renditions of classic tunes. However, Mathis's journey to stardom was anything but typical, shaped by his early experiences, his family's unwavering support, and his unique ability to navigate a complex and evolving social landscape. His story is one of personal growth, artistic evolution, and deep resilience. Early life and family background. Mathis's family moved to San Francisco when he was just 4 years old, a decision that would prove transformative for the young boy. San Francisco, with its vibrant cultural life and progressive atmosphere, offered a stark contrast to the more conservative rural town he had left behind. The city was not only a hub for jazz, blues, and folk music, but also a space where non-traditional lifestyles, including homosexuality, could find some measure of acceptance. These early formative years in San Francisco were crucial to shaping Mathis's future career, especially given the profound impact that the city's diverse musical scene would have on him. Growing up in a modest, working-class family, Johnny Mathis was one of 7 children, raised in a basement apartment. His parents, both domestic workers, instilled in him a strong work ethic and a deep sense of empathy. Mathis often spoke fondly of his father, who worked tirelessly to provide for the family. His father's nurturing presence, his gentle encouragement, and his ability to maintain a calm, accepting attitude, even in the face of adversity, would have a profound impact on Johnny's emotional and professional development. Despite their financial limitations, Mathis's parents prioritized their children's education and artistic development. His father's deep love for music, even if he never pursued it professionally, was crucial in Johnny's discovery of his own vocal talents. In one particularly touching anecdote, Mathis recalls how his father bought an upright piano for just $25. But when they tried to bring it into their home, it was too large to fit through the door. Rather than abandon the purchase, his father took the piano apart and carefully reassembled it inside their small apartment. This story encapsulates the essence of Johnny's upbringing: a deep love for music, an unyielding commitment to family, and a father who, despite financial struggles, did everything in his power to support his son's dreams. Early musical influences. Johnny's early exposure to music began long before he became a household name. As a teenager, he and his close friend Virgil Gonzalez formed a small band and frequently snuck into local nightclubs and music venues to witness live performances. San Francisco, with its thriving jazz scene, provided the perfect backdrop for this musical awakening. Mathis had the opportunity to see some of the greatest jazz musicians of his time, including Oscar Peterson and Errol Garner. These experiences shaped Johnny's musical sensibilities and gave him a broader understanding of the artistry that could come from blending technical mastery with raw emotion. Mathis was also drawn to the operatic and classical genres, which would later influence his smooth, classical approach to popular music. His vocal training began in earnest when his father, recognizing his son's exceptional talent, insisted on enrolling Johnny in vocal lessons. With limited financial resources, Johnny worked odd jobs and ran errands for his vocal coach, Connie Cox, who played a pivotal role in his early development as a singer. Cox taught Mathis not only the technical aspects of voice control, but also the importance of preserving vocal health, an invaluable lesson that would benefit him throughout his long and successful career. Navigating identity and societal challenges. Perhaps one of the most significant aspects of Johnny Mathis's personal story is his openness about his sexual orientation. Growing up in the 1940s and 50s, a time when societal attitudes toward homosexuality were not only negative, but often dangerous, Johnny faced tremendous challenges in reconciling his personal identity with the expectations placed upon him by society. Despite the loving support of his parents, who were always accepting of his identity, Mathis was aware of the public stigma surrounding homosexuality. He often expressed a sense of isolation, particularly in the context of his burgeoning career, where the fear of being outed could potentially damage his professional reputation. Mathis's coming to terms with his sexual orientation was a slow and often painful process, marked by internal conflict and external pressures. In his youth, the fear of being rejected by his peers, his fans, and even his family led him to conceal his true self. However, his relationship with his father played a crucial role in his eventual acceptance of his identity. Mathis recalls a pivotal conversation with his father, during which he came out to him. His father, without hesitation, reassured Johnny that his sexual orientation didn't change his love for him. "Everything's cool," his father told him, reinforcing the idea that love, family, and acceptance transcended societal boundaries. This moment, filled with unconditional love and support, became a defining turning point for Mathis, helping him to accept himself as he was and to move forward in life with greater confidence and authenticity. The intersection of music and sexuality. Johnny Mathis's career, while rooted in romance and ballads, also reflects his own complex relationship with love, desire, and identity. His music, often seen as the soundtrack to intimate, romantic moments, contrasts with the secretive, constrained nature of his personal experiences. Though he became famous for singing love songs, particularly those aimed at women, the reality of his own romantic relationships was more complicated. The societal pressures of the time prevented him from openly exploring same-sex relationships, and his public persona was carefully curated to avoid scrutiny. Nevertheless, Mathis's eventual acceptance of his sexuality, influenced by his father's unwavering support and his own exploration of diverse cultural experiences abroad, allowed him to reconcile his identity with his career. His travels throughout Europe exposed him to more progressive attitudes toward LGBTQ+ individuals and helped him understand that his sexual identity did not have to be a source of shame or conflict. As he aged, Mathis found peace with himself, realizing that being true to who he was allowed him to live a more fulfilled life. He continued to perform and engage with his fans, finding solace in the genuine, loving connections he had formed with his audience over the years. Struggles and triumphs, personal growth. Throughout his career, Mathis faced challenges beyond the constraints of his sexual identity. He candidly spoke about his struggle with addiction, which began during the height of his success. Like many stars, Mathis grappled with the pressures of fame, the temptations of the entertainment industry, and the emotional toll of living a double life. One of the most significant turning points in his life came when he heard a recording of himself during this period. The sound of his own voice, distorted by the effects of substance abuse, served as a wake-up call. Mathis recognized that his destructive behavior could jeopardize his career and damage his relationship with his father, who had always been his biggest supporter. With this realization, Mathis sought help and began a long, arduous process of recovery. This period of his life taught him the importance of self-care, self-awareness, and the value of maintaining a strong sense of integrity. Mathis's recovery was not only about overcoming addiction, but also about rediscovering his love for music and his deep connection with his fans. He continued to perform regularly, maintaining a rigorous schedule of concerts and focusing on living a balanced, healthy life. He became an avid golfer and worked with a personal trainer to stay physically fit. His commitment to his health allowed him to continue performing well into his later years, bringing joy to millions of fans around the world. Legacy and the power of music. Johnny Mathis's legacy is built not only on his remarkable vocal abilities, but also on his enduring humility and dedication to his craft. Over the course of his career, Mathis recorded an astonishing 73 studio albums, 18 of which went gold and 6 of which reached platinum status. His songs, such as Chances Are, Misty, and It's Not For Me To Say, have become timeless classics that are still enjoyed by generations of listeners. What truly sets Mathis apart, however, is the way he connects with his audience. His music has always been about more than just entertainment. It is about providing solace, offering comfort, and sharing love with the world. His personal story, marked by self-discovery, struggle, and eventual triumph, mirrors the themes of the songs he has sung throughout his career. Johnny Mathis's journey is a testament to the power of love, acceptance, and perseverance. His ability to navigate the complexities of his identity while maintaining a highly successful career speaks to the resilience of the human spirit. In an era when LGBTQ+ individuals often had to hide their true selves, Mathis's courage to embrace his identity in the face of adversity remains a powerful example for others to follow. His music, his story, and his unwavering commitment to authenticity continue to inspire and resonate with listeners of all ages. Johnny Mathis is not just a legendary voice in music. He is a symbol of strength, love, and the transformative power of being true to oneself.